Okay. Good day, everyone. My name is James, and welcome to ito. Okay. Welcome again to our video, which is the not continuous, continuing action for the video. Sorry. So, today we're going to continue tackle about proofs, about mathematical reasoning, kasi mostly sa amin is very, very hard, very difficult on how a proof was being im- um, um, joined to the party, kumbaga. So, this proof is under discrete mathematics. Of course, logic. Kasi connected si logic tsaka si proof. So, okay. Parang ganun lang. Okay. So, for today, um, we're going to locate or to use direct proof. So, how we're going to use direct proof? No? So, sa direct proof is, ang goal ni direct proof is um, direct siya talaga. Okay. From the definition from the module, wait, kasi naglalag pa. In the simplest style of proof is a direct proof. Often all that is required to prove something is a systematic explanation of what everything means. So, direct proofs are especially useful when proving implications. The general format is to prove that P implies Q is this. So, assume P, then we're going to explain, then therefore Q. So, ang sinasabi niya dito are you're going to assume P, then you're going to explain the hypothesis. And therefore, you're conducting conclusion at that point. So, parang direct lang. No? Direct lang yung pagkasabi, kumbaga. No? Specifically, direct. No? Lang may precise answer, kumbaga. Okay. So, okay, often we want to prove universal statements, perhaps of the form that for all x, where p of x implies q of x. Again, we will want to assume that p of x is true and deduce or to prove q of x. So we're going to assume this one, okay? P of x is true and going to prove that prove q of x. So direct siya, okay? Yes, we're going to assume p of x, the hypothesis, where we're going to prove the conclusion or the q of x. But what about the x? We want this to all work for all x. We accomplish this by fixing x to be an arbitrary element of the sort we're interested in. So we have the example here. Yan. So for all integers n, if n is even, then n squared is even. So this would be your conclusion. Okay, ito yung conclusion mo. And this would be your hypothesis. Okay, as you remember in grade 8, grade 8 days, sa mga hindi private school, hindi sa mga Ateneo na school, no, sa mga grade 8 days, we introduce reasoning and we introduce hypothesis and conclusion. So how we're going to prove using the proof to this statement. So if n is even, then n squared is even. Then, okay, now, so by the definition of an even integer, we suppose to assign n be equal to 2k. Okay, so ulitin ko. So we're going to define n as even number. So we're going to assign that n equal to 2k. Pero pag 2k plus 1, that would be an odd. So we're going to define. Okay, define lang. Exact amount. Define lang. Okay, hindi pa magiging proof. Yan, hindi pa magiging true proof yan. So we're going to define lang. Okay, define. Okay, the word define. Ano yung meaning, kumbaga. Okay, so we'll let n equal to 2k. Or probably sa akin is probably 2p. N equal to 2p. Okay. Since n is equal to 2p, then we're going to solve that n squared must be even also. So n squared equal to n squared. So we substitute n for this equation. So we have n squared equal to 2p squared. Then we supposed to solve. So we have 2p squared would be can also um, um, expand as 2p times 2p. So we have 4p squared. And then we're going to factor out 2, no? Factor out the prime, no, not prime number. The, what do you call this? The, yes, prime number, which is 2. Then we have 2p squared. Then, after that, we're going to let 2p squared equal to k. So that we have 2k. Okay, therefore, yung tatlong tuldok na parang triangle, that was the meaning of therefore. So therefore, n squared is also even using direct proof. Okay, yan lang. So, ulitin ko. Okay, if n is even, then n squared is even. Itong first things first, that would be your hypothesis. At ito naman yung conclusion. So, we're going to prove the conclusion. So, we let n be defined as even number as 2p. Okay? As 2p. Okay. Okay, 2p. Then after that, we're going to um, first to write the given. Kayo na bahala kung diretso kayo solution. But sa akin, for me is automatic is for me is I'm going to write the given first before I'm going to get through deep the solution. Parang ganun. Before I going deep to the solution. So we first to define that n is equal to 2p, that would be even. Okay? Then I'm going to ano to, equalize, no, the given. So we have n squared equal to n squared. Then n squared equal to yung value ni n, which is 2p quantity squared, can be um, expand to this 2p times multiplied by 2. Then we have 4p squared. So 4p squared na si n squared. And after that, n squared equal to 2 times 2p squared. You're going to factor the prime number 2. Kasi mostly ginagamit 2 talaga. So 2 times 2p squared. Then we let k as equal to 2p squared. Then we have n squared equal to k, and therefore n squared is also even. So ganun lang. Okay? Very direct. Okay? Hindi siya mukhang um, pasikot-sikot but very direct siya. Automatically. Yan lang. Okay. So that would be for the first example. And for the second example, we have for all integers n, if n is even, then 8n is also even. So how we're going to do that? Okay, just like here, sa first example, we're going to, ano na naman, so let na naman, let n be something. Uh, this. Okay. So we're going to let n. So ito naman si hypothesis, n is for the hypothesis, and 8n for the conclusion. No? Para malaman nyo lang. So we're going to prove that 8n is even. So how we're going to do that? So let n is even. If n is even, so we are going to let n be, oops, let n be equal to 2p. Yeah. Okay, then after that, we're going to supposedly um, uh, equalize the given. So 8n is equal to 8n. So we have 8, that's the value of n, tapos 2p, equal to 16p. Then we factor out the prime number 2. So we have 2 times 8p. Then we let k equal to 2p. So we have 2k. So therefore, okay, therefore, parang equal sila. Therefore, therefore, A, it n is even. Yan lang, direct proof lang siya. No? Direct na direct. Diretsong pagsasabi. Direct lang siya. So, direct. Okay, that's all. Okay, so, so that's all for today. That's all for the direct proof. And for the next video, we're going to look forward for the other proofs that we want to prove. So, ito na yung pinaka-tricky si contrapositive, si contradiction, tsaka si proof by cases. So, how we're going to use and how we're going to apply. That's all, and good day to all.